Continuing with multicultural education, so this is the second part of multicultural education. In this part, we will see the curriculum, teaching strategies, advantages and disadvantages of multicultural education. So let's start. Now we will see how we can implement the multicultural education with the help of curriculum. So it should create an opportunity to foster critical thinking and self-awareness within every individual. So broadly we can categorize multicultural education's curriculum into two types. The first one is the formal or the written curriculum, and the second one is the hidden or the unwritten curriculum. So formal curriculum means it's a written curriculum that students experience. The curriculum should be such which should open children's mind to the diversity of culture. It should involve more than one perspective of cultural phenomena or historical events. So scripts, articles that are selected for the student, it must present different perspective of various cultures so that they can gather multiple experiences. The second one is the hidden curriculum. So it is an unwritten or unintended curriculum which students indirectly gain experiences from formal activities and programs. So the ideas which we need for the success of multicultural education can be developed through the hidden curriculum. Coming to the various aspects of the curriculum within the multicultural education, so the first one is the learning content. So for multicultural education, we need various learning content which should include multiple cultural perspective and their references. Second one is the student culture. So for multicultural education, we need students of different cultural backgrounds so that they can exchange and share their experiences. Thirdly, the critical analysis. As I have said previously, for multicultural education, we need a critical thinking. So definitely we should analyze those cultural assumptions, and we should also scrutinize the material which are biased. Next, we are moving to the major components within the curriculum. So first one is the achievement. So educator or teacher must select those illustration and analogies and allegories. Allegories means which contain the hidden meaning. Okay, the image or picture which contain the hidden meaning for different ethnic group to demonstrate their actual experience for other. So within the multicultural education, people who have made certain achievement, and we should include those achievement as an illustration, as an examples or as an analogies which should depict the clear picture about the people of different cultural background. Of music, sports, academic, politics, etc. So that can be projected within the curriculum. So through this they will get a kind of confidence. Next, we can also include students' voice, examples of students' life experience. They have moved from the very, how they have achieved success in their life. So what are the things, what are the barriers they have faced while moving in their path. So we can include those voice of the students, which will also build the confidence of the people or the students who are coming from the different cultural strata. Next, we can also include the communication. So both oral and non-verbal communication pattern we can include to increase their involvement. We can also include the live realities. So it will create an actual picture in the classroom through overhead projector, we can, or through a live conference show, we can bring out those realities. So the real sentiments and feelings that we find within the people, that can be projected within the classroom and will create a true values within the students. So the last one is the community resources. So the community, we all know it's a repository of the knowledge. So there we find a maximum number of resources which can be used as a curriculum input to achieve the goal of multicultural education. Now we will see the various teaching strategies or the method which can be used within a multicultural environment. So the first one is the role playing. So this is a method where students play a part they do not play in real life. Okay. So here individuals get a chance to play a role in a social scenario which provide them an opportunity to experience the feeling and sentiment that may not otherwise be exposed to, because many a times we see that students are very much introvert and they do not come out with their real sentiments. So that's why role playing is very helpful for those students, because new issues and subjects can be projected in a classroom by a teacher, which will develop new outlook within the students. So next one is the exposure to the different language and culture. So students of different cultures start interacting with each other. They start recognizing the similarities and differences with their culture, with the other culture, or between the fellow beings, and they will be able to realize that though even they are different from one another, but they share certain common traits which will eliminate the prejudices and racism, and they will start accepting and respecting each other and form a cordial relationship between them, which will eliminate the social distances. Next one is the knowledge of students' background. Obviously, a teacher should have a full-fledged knowledge about the students who are coming from a diverse cultural background. Teacher should take out his own time and he should do a comprehensive study about the students' background. Those knowledge should be shared with students that will provide learning experiences to the students, and through this classroom interaction and questioning, they will get opportunities to discuss and share those learning experiences. The next one is the cooperative learning. In this method, the teacher is going to divide the class into different heterogeneous groups, and they will be given certain tasks to master. By doing so, not only the students will become motivated to learn, but they will also develop a stronger interpersonal relationship. So this will develop a positive impact on students, because group member, so they start accepting their classmates. So last one is the group discussion. So we all know that group discussion actually stimulates critical thinking as well as logical thinking within the students. So with that, it also enhances their motivation, curiosity within students, as well as intellectual ability and democratic habits. So discussion basically enhances students' textual evidences, balances new ideas with the original conclusion, and when a teacher is actually using this technique, teacher should select the current topic, because through this current topic they will develop the insight and they will have an in-depth situation analysis. So the topic should be current as well as it should be helpful for the student of that grade. So the topic should be selected very carefully. In the last section, we are going to see the advantages and disadvantages of multicultural education. So the first one is the acceptance. So it creates understanding and acceptance of differences between people. Secondly, the sense of inclusion. That means it encourages students to participate while keeping their culture and values intact, which creates a sense of inclusion. Thirdly, democratic ideals. That means it is being developed in the bedrock of justice, freedom, equality, human dignity, etc. Fourthly, critical thinking. So it encourages critical thinking within students. And lastly, building up empathy in the classroom and develop open-mindedness among the students, or among both teacher and students. Next, we are coming to the disadvantages. So the first one is the communication barrier. So the teacher may not have mastery on all the languages which students understand or they have. So limited vocabulary capacity is one of the main barrier in, or main disadvantage in the communication system. Next, we can see that the controversial environment, because different cultures are involved in this system, so definitely it can create a controversial environment within a classroom situation, because people of one culture may not have a tolerance or acceptance, or they may not have a same kind of respectful view towards other culture. Thirdly, influence of dominant culture. So the dominant culture may throw their impact on the non-dominant culture. Fourthly, it's a time consuming, because in a one day we cannot accept or we cannot think that the people of different culture will exchange their views, they will share their opinion, and the process will run in a peaceful manner. So it will take time. So that's why it's a time consuming. Fifthly, we need a trained teacher. So if a teacher is not trained, if a teacher doesn't know the strategy, how to deal with this different cultural background people, so it can create a problem. Or if a teacher have his or her own biases, it can also create a problem. Last, the constant rapport with parents. Obviously we have to develop a constant rapport with parents, because parents are the main feedback provider, who will provide a feedback whether their students have improved knowledge or they have developed any knowledge through this multicultural education or not. So the parents are going to provide the feedback whether the system have full-fledgedly developed any concept within them or not. This can be included in a form of worksheet where we can ask student how we can promote a multicultural environment within a school or in a classroom situation. So we can see the pictures also. From there we can see that by celebrating a cultural festival, that means a significant cultural festival of each culture, by celebrating those cultural events, we can bring a multicultural environment within a classroom or in a school environment. Next, variety of books can be included in the classroom from different cultures, so it can provide bit of familiarity and allow other people to choose to read something. Third, we can also organize a food festival to celebrate dishes from around the world on an occasional monthly occurrence, so which will give bit idea about the history of dishes. Next, presentation of project for students, that is we can give them to write about their own culture, and we will ask them to narrate it in the class or present it in front of a class. And lastly, we can hold event with a guest or any motivational speaker from different cultural background. So these are the various activities we can include within a classroom to promote the multicultural environment in a school. Hope that I have covered the related concept of multicultural education, and if you think that the video has benefited you by any chance, then subscribe my channel, press the bell icon, and share with others, and wait for my next notification or for my upcoming video. So thank you, stay tuned to my channel.